Whenever you need a laugh, you can catch him on TV or in a movie, or just tune into his #1 syndicated radio morning show for his witty commentary. It's been on the air for 27 years, if you can believe it. Please welcome to the show comedian Rickey Smiley.
Hey, thank y'all so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Man, we need you today.
Oh my gosh, I appreciate you so much. Former radio girl here, and you are just such an icon. Thank you for spending some time with us. And first, we want to express our condolences because we know you recently lost your 32-year-old son, Brandon, to substance abuse. And that's something a lot of us can empathize with. So first, I want to commend you on your transparency because so many people don't know how to speak of this when this happens, but also for any advice you might have for other parents who might be concerned about their children and addiction.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me on. And my son's incident is what we think would happen because we don't have a toxicology report, but he had been struggling for years. But one of the things that my mother have always said, that some will die so others could live. And using this platform and taking this opportunity to save more lives and to have conversation about the misuse of drugs and fentanyl and how fentanyl is killing people. Brandon is the third family member in 2 years around his age bracket to die in our family from fentanyl. The Justice Department, I think they confiscated enough fentanyl to kill every single person in the United States of America. Wow. So we got to have a conversation with these kids, talk about the use of marijuana, recreational drugs, and they're lacing stuff with fentanyl, and our children are dying because of it. So, but thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your testimony teaching as well. I have a trending story because earlier in the show we were discussing the mass shooting at a Sweet 16 party in Alabama, and we saw that you spoke about knowing someone who lost their son. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, one of our listeners that's a faithful listener on the morning show, his name is Edward. He called in. He hit me up on Messenger about 4 o'clock in the morning. I was passed out when I woke up and saw I had a missed call, and I went on Facebook and saw that he said someone killed my son, and I immediately called him. We have Greek affiliation. He's a Kappa, I'm a Q. And so I had to call the brother, immediately, because a lot of people look up to me, and this is one of the main people that was praying for me when my son died. And I had a conversation, and he said that his son was shot down, and he could not contact the son. Family members were trying to call his phone. He thought maybe his son dropped his phone and was running or whatever. And someone sent him a picture, and he recognized his son's shoes in the picture and knew. And I was on the phone with this brother for about an hour, just sitting there going through, because, Sunday is a trigger for me. So that was yesterday morning. So I was already triggered by it being Sunday. It's only been 2 months since my son died, and he said that he was praying for me, and here I am now having a conversation with him about his son. And we just living in a terrible time right now, where you're dealing with, with fentanyl. Kids are dying of drug use now. It's gun violence and mass shooting, and you're scared to go anywhere. And paranoid. I mean, you all's topic just today is on point with every single thing. And y'all are covering everything that we covered this morning on my morning show. And it's just a sad time. And my prayer goes out to all of those families.
Wow. Wow, I have the hard part, which is changing from that to this. I want to thank you for what you said, but I want to get to what you're best known for, and that is making us laugh, which is a huge amount of comfort to people right now, especially for me. You have a clean comedy. I was a bad stand-up comic, and I was definitely not clean, and I wanted to know, is it more of a challenge to make people laugh when your comedy is family-friendly, or is it easier?
The thing about it is you just have to have the gift of gab. Some people look at comics and think that they can just walk on stage and do it. But if you're naturally funny and you just have the gift of gab, or whatever, you can be clean. I say a word here and there every now and then. Now that I'm a little bit older, I used to be squeaky clean on stage, but I just kind of I just kind of go ahead and express myself and have a good time on stage or whatever. But you don't hear my cuss words because you're so busy laughing. It's like a sauteed onion instead of a raw onion.
Yeah. It's like marinated. It's marinated. I like that. I like that.
It's marinated. But you definitely need to get back on stage. Because
I've been telling her, Ricky. Yes.
That's very kind of you.
Tori,
Ricky.
that's a big deal.
This is very huge.
That's a blessing from
really
Rickey
is.
Smiley.
That
Okay,
is.
so speaking of a good time, you have an annual birthday beach blowout. It's going down in Florida, August 11th through the 13th. And because we are all invited, what can we expect if we join you this year? You only have about 30 seconds.
Listen, jet skis, parasailing, live band, Dust to Dawn party, the Greek stroll. We're going to have the Omegas, the Kappas, the AKAs, the Deltas. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be a relaxing weekend, and we will take over this entire hotel on the most famous beach in the United States in Daytona Beach. Go now. Go now, because it will sell out.
Oh my gosh, everyone needs
had
that.
me at jet
Ricky,
skis.
you on a jet ski?
Yeah.
All right,
down.
Ricky, you hold them to it. Thank you so much for joining us
As long as
today.
I'm not swimming.
DVL Nation, visit RickySmiley.com to tune into his radio show and for tour dates, and RickySmileyBBB.com to book your room for Ricky's birthday bash. Thanks again, Ricky. Congratulations on everything.
Yeah, real one. We appreciate you.
We
Thank you.
really do. We'll be right
Thank you,
back.
man.